Welcome to Messy and Zesty. Thank you so much for joining me again. We're in for a treat. Since it's Friday, I said, let me stop doing the funky Fridays and let's do something else where it's going to be quite weird. So while we do this, please like, share, and subscribe. It says, I gave a guy my number and it didn't go well. How many people out here have the same title they can relate to? So the person says, hello, I could use some advice. To start, I work at a retail store, and there's a guy who came in yesterday to buy something. He told me that he's seen me a couple times and that he was interested in me. Told me that he owns his own business and isn't married. After talking for a bit more, I gave him my number because he seemed like a nice guy. Okay, I need to know, did he ask for the number? Or you gave him your number and say, call me up? Why would you come on and call me up sometime? That's my question. She goes on to say, I didn't get any weird vibes from him either. He ended up calling me that day when I was on my lunch break and we chatted for a bit. A little too soon, dude. On the lunch break, this must have been morning. He just met you and he calling you. He just checking that number. So I told him a little about me and asked him some questions as well. Since it was the first time we talked, he was telling me that we should go out to a movie. I couldn't say anything because I had to get back to work, but told him to text me later. He ended up contacting me again after my shift was over, and this is where it gets weird. Girl, girl, it got weird when he called you on your lunch break and he just met you that morning. That's where it got weird. It got weird when he told you he's seen you a couple times. Stalker much? So I began to tell him more about my personality and goals. And the time we talked in depth, it's like 15 minutes inside of talking. He isn't making sense at all by repeatedly telling me over and over again that he really likes me. It started to make me feel uncomfortable. He would go on to tell me he wants to have kids with me and that he wants me. I honestly started to think he was crazy. He been crazy. But let me not. I could tell that he got a good impression of me, but he was over the top. I kept responding by laughing and saying it was going too fast. Girl, hang up and block. He was even telling me he loves me at one point, and I kept telling him to stop in a nice way, but he just kept on telling me that he wants me. It wasn't what I expected after meeting him earlier that day. I feel like he's rushing for no reason. Girl, run. It didn't feel right from that point. I tried to change the subject, but he was going on about how pretty I am. See, that's the problem. You ain't had someone in a while tell you you're pretty, so that's why you listen to this joker. I'm sorry. So after more than an hour, I told him that it was late and I had to go. Girl, girl, he kept you on the phone for an hour? An hour it took you to even realize what's fishy going on. An hour? Okay. After I got home, I had to block his number. It didn't sit right with me that there was no meaningful conversation at all. Girl, it's been meaningful. He been telling you he cray cray. I don't know what to think except I felt uncomfortable and kind of uneasy. How do I move on past this and not overthink everything that happened? He also knows where I work, so I'm feeling overwhelmed because things like this don't often happen to me. Thank you for reading. Sorry for the long post. Okay, let's start there. The man met you retail at your job. Okay, I would totally, if you know somebody in security, I will politely say, hey, I got a little situation. If I say, white rice on toast, I got a little situation and that the person I was talking to who kind of stalking me is here and I may need help. Keep a close eye on me, okay? You can tell him that. Also, girl, the minute he told you he been watching you a couple times and he automatically said he owned his own business and he not married, he giving you the dossier. Girl, I hope you didn't just give him your number. I hope you didn't just fall for it. But then he contacted you that same day on lunch and after your shift is over. So he clocking what time you get off. Girl, he been watching and clocking. Why did it take you an hour? After he was like, he love you and want to have kids with you, the first time would have been like, okay, bye and block. We got to learn something, ladies. There are two things, bye-bye and block. You do not need an explanation. You need to overthink what happened. Girl, it ain't even been 24 hours. Why are you even thinking about this? Bye-bye and block. Okay? Why? It's only that same day all of this happened. Yesterday, you didn't know the Joker. So today, act like it didn't happen. Bye-bye and block. What are your thoughts out there? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one for this type of advice.